So one of the questions that I always get asked as well is, what are some of the more difficult things that you had to overcome, or one of the more difficult things that you had to learn in this industry? And there's a lot of things that you learn in this industry, but one thing in particular that sticks in my mind when it comes to learning it the hard way is understanding that when the person, a lot of times people feel that when they get the application signed and they get the person in the business, that their job is done, that they hit a home run and they have a victory, right? The person signed up, they're in the business. Well, you learn the hard way that they're really not in the business until they start having success with the business and start getting paychecks. So what I see often is people get really excited, they'll work really hard, they'll get someone signed up, and then they fail to recognize that getting them signed up isn't the finish line. Rather, it's the starting block, and that's when when someone gets apped up, that's basically them saying, "Hey, you know what? I trust you enough that I'm going to get started in this business, but I'm going to reach out to you for your help." So it's absolutely crucial that when someone gets signed up in this business, that you take them under your wing, that you show them everything that there is about the business, and you make sure that they have success. You do it with them or for them until they can do it without you, as Kyle Passetti always says on stage. And that's something that's, a lot of people fail to recognize, and I think one of the reasons that the industry has kind of a bad rep is because a lot of people get involved, but they lack that mentor figure, or they lack that person, that support system to actually show them how to have success in this business. So then you have a churn and burn situation where you have a lot of people that are coming into the business, and then a lot of people that are going out of the business and thinking that the business doesn't work. And it's not that the business doesn't work per se, it's that no one showed them how to actually have success with the business. So that's something that it took me a few years to really learn, is that if someone gets involved, then you need to make sure you invest your time and energy into that person, and make sure that you create a story for them. Make sure you show them a paycheck. It could be a small little $20, $30, $40 paycheck, but guess what? When they get that paycheck in the mail, that instills belief in their mind that, this actually works. I did this and this and I got this. If I do a little bit more of this, I'll get a little bit more of that. And that's what you want. And one of the last things that you need to do is you need to make sure, and you need to be absolutely adamant that people get to the events. They need to go to the local success training so that they, not only get the information, not only learn the product, not only learn the compensation plan and learn the system, but they get a chance to meet other people so they know that it's not just them that's out there doing this business. To the regional events where it's a bigger version, and they see hundreds of people from the region all collectively coming together, and all-day training, and again, you get a chance to meet the top producers, the top money earners, the founders of the company, and hundreds of other individuals that are involved in the company, all the way to the national the success training events and the vitalities, where they see the big picture of where the company is going. You get a chance to meet a couple thousand people that flew in from all over the country. It's a couple days of inspiration, motivation, laughing, crying, a lot of education, but it's absolutely important that you're adamant and make sure that that person, especially if it's a brand new person that's never been involved in the industry, that you make sure that they get to that event by any means necessary. You got to understand that if someone does not go to an event for, I would say, 90 days, chances are pretty good that they're going to be out of the business. Why? Because they don't see what you see. They don't have the same belief system, and if they don't have the same belief system, they're not going to stick around. So I've learned over the years to not, if someone says, you know what, I can't make it to an event, I got something coming up, I've learned the hard way that unless I'm absolutely adamant and unless I figure out a way to get them there, then there's a pretty good chance that that person is not going to be in the business come the next quarter. So a lot of the times what you have to do when it comes closer to time to come to the national event or the Vitality event, where you have to fly somewhere, it's a destination event, you have to solve for X. And what I mean by that is they're going to give you some sort of objection as to why they can't make it, and you need to be able to handle that objection and give them a solution and make them understand why it is absolutely important that they do make the event. So a lot of the times, you know, you'll have people that come up with excuses, and they'll be like, you know, I got a family event that's going on this weekend, or I got a big baseball tournament that's going on that weekend, and I can't afford to make it. And you got to make sure that you're able to explain to them that they can't afford not to make it, that they can't afford not to invest a few $100s into their plane ticket and their hotel and their registration or whatever, because that could potentially lose them out on thousands of dollars. Sometimes you have to draw analogies. One of the more popular analogies that I like to draw with people is if, you know, they're a music fan or a sports fanatic. Now say, you know, imagine that you have your favorite sports teams, Lakers, Heat, whatever, if you're a football fan. Your favorite sports team is in town that weekend, and I gave you courtside or field side tickets for you and a guest. Would you figure out a way to, you know, rearrange your schedule to make it to that event, to that concert, to that sporting event, to whatever event X is, whatever their button is, whatever their hot button is, I guess you could say? And if their answer is yes, then you know that it's not that they can't make the event because they have event X going on. It's that they don't see enough value, or you haven't created enough value in them coming to the event. So I guess that's one of the biggest things that you need to learn to do in this business, is to really create the value of those events. And you have to create it from nothing, right? Because you can't really describe what the event does for someone without them going to the event. We often say, you know, how do you describe to someone what a raspberry tastes like for someone that's never tasted a raspberry, right? Well, it tastes like a raspberry. You just have to try it, right? So you need to create enough value in them coming out to the event, and understand that that event is really what's going to increase their belief level. And once they have full belief level in what the company is doing, the vision and the mission behind the company, then all of a sudden you'll see a change and a shift in their mindset, and they'll start learning, and they'll start applying a lot of the stuff that maybe they've already seen at one of the local success trainings or one of the regional events. But as soon as they went to that national event or to that vitality event, something clicked for them, and they were able to apply that to their business and now have success with the business. So that's my advice. Number one, make sure if you get a brand new person involved, you take the time and the energy to show them that this thing works. And then number two, make sure that they go to all the events.